Warning, this podcast contains spoilers. What's up, everyone, and welcome to the ASOTV podcast for Sleepy Hollow, Season 2, Episode 14, Yuga. I am your host, Dom. With me is the lovely Clio.
Hello.
And no Pat and Michelle.
No.
No Pat and Michelle. It's fine. We'll have to go on without them.
It's okay.
I think they were being chased down by the horsemen or something.
Yeah, that's where he was this episode.
That's where he was? Yeah. So what'd you think of this episode?
It was about, like, almost towards the end of the episode, where I was like, this is the best episode this season.
I did not care for the creature too much, but I liked the whole Fort Knox kind of aspect of it. That was really cool.
They were going sort of back to the Freemason stuff that they did at the end of last season.
Mm-hmm.
And that I really liked.
Yeah.
And it wasn't so much Freemasons. What the Sons of Liberty, I think, is what
they had mentioned the Sons of Liberty, which is actually kind of ironic because the History Channel just debuted a 3-part miniseries called The Sons of Liberty.
That's right. I really want to see that, too.
Yeah, I have not gotten to check that out yet. But hopefully. It's something I'd like to cover on the show. I think Pat and Michelle were interested in doing it, so maybe we could find some time to squeeze that 3-episode miniseries in. Mm-hmm. That's an actual miniseries, Cleo, by the way.
Yes,
it's been billed as a miniseries.
Yes.
So, anyway. Did Fort Knox even exist when Crane was alive?
No.
So how does he know about it?
Well, I assume he's been, like, studying, today's stuff.
You mean the same way he's been catching up on his karaoke?
No, he actually didn't know any modern songs. What he sung was an old...
Right.
Like, sea shanty or something.
Yeah, it was... I don't know. But then by the end, when it came back around, what was the one they were singing?
Oh, I forgot what they sang. Oh, wait. Mary something? Mary something? Forget the name of that song.
Yeah, I feel like it was like a Rolling Stones song or something. I don't even know. I don't remember.
No,
but...
it was Tina Turner?
Was it Tina Turner?
Yeah, I think so.
I don't remember exactly, but all I know is it was adorable.
Yeah.
I loved it.
He was just like guessing his way through that duet. Just like, oh, am I singing it right, baby?
He couldn't quite get the pace down, and then, when the duel part came where they were going back and forth, you could tell he was really getting into it, so...
Maybe he'll start listening to current music now.
Yeah, maybe. I was honestly expecting, like a Miley Cyrus Wrecking Ball or something.
Oh, God.
That's...
He did mention all about the bass.
He did. It would have been even funnier if he got to sing Anaconda. There's a lot they could have done with that, but they went the more tasteful approach, so I respect that. But then... During the first karaoke session, we had Holly kind of get a phone call and run off in the middle of the thing. Mm-hmm. And you see Jenny, she's like, well, if you're not back in time, I'm picking your song. And then Abby, like, shoots her this weird look.
Yeah.
It's like, Abby's suspicious. She knows something's up already.
Yeah.
But Jenny's she's not being completely honest. Why do you think she won't admit her feelings?
Because they had a fling before, and he ran away. I think she doesn't want to admit it because if she says it, then he might run away again. That's what I think.
I could see that. I
think it's also, if you like where you're at, then saying things might change where you're at, and I think she's comfortable. Mm-hmm.
Yeah. We have Homikins in chat saying, Anaconda, that is the worst idea ever. You're welcome. You're welcome for that. I'm not disagreeing with you. I'm just saying you're welcome. Yeah, I could see Jenny getting scared and not wanting to. That would be a pretty damn good reason not to admit things. But then also at the same point, it's never going to get anywhere unless they talk about it. So it's, do you live the lie and not get anywhere, or do you take the chance and face possible rejection?
Put your hands on me.
It's like 6 in one, half a dozen in the other, you know?
Yeah.
So, but we find out the call was from Holly's foster mother, which, what was your prediction, Cleo? That she was from a rich family? That Holly was from a rich family last episode? Is that what you said? So it did go the other way.
Yeah.
So.
I mean,
So just tally that up one more. Dom's right.
Poor,
you got that?
But that she was a thief.
You just gonna talk over it?
Yes.
Sorry. Chalk that up one more. Dom's right.
Oh. Well, I don't think you were completely right because I didn't get the sense that they were poor.
Right.
But that she was a thief and a treasure hunter, and that's where he got all his knowledge and his quirks.
Right. Yeah, I said maybe like an orphanage or a foster. I don't think I said foster family.
Oh, okay, yeah, on that page you're definitely right.
Yeah, so right. Just chalk that up one more for me.
But they said, so they didn't. I like that they didn't explain it like in every single detail.
Right.
What I got from it was, he lost his parents. She was his godmother, but she was also a foster mother
and a murderer.
And a murderer.
Just leave that little detail out, why don't you, Cleo?
No, I'm just talking about the family part. I haven't gotten up to the murder yet.
Yeah.
So the two other kids, one's dead, one's in jail, were her foster kids, and then Holly, she adopted because his parents died. She was his godmother. And
he saw her murder that guy and took off. He ran away. I mean, I don't blame him.
Yeah,
I would have done the same thing.
If you're a good-hearted kid and you see a murder, you're like, nope.
Yep.
He obviously took everything that he learned from her,
right,
and carried it onto his job, because he was 18 when he ran away.
Yeah, I mean,
just legal age, so.
Right. The theme of this episode is really people. We realize just how much everybody is not talking about how they feel. Like, we have Holly, instead of confronting her and talking it out, he just runs away. Right? He runs away from the foster mother. We have Jenny and Holly. You know, Jenny's keeping things. She's not saying anything. Then we have Abby and Ichabod, who are just straight up keeping secrets from each other, whether it's intentional or not. It's little things like, you know, they mentioned the silent alarm that was installed in the record room that Ichabod didn't know about, and I forget what Ichabod had kept from Abby. I don't remember. It wasn't super important, I didn't think.
Well, I mean, the thing that he kept from her was siding with Katrina and letting Abraham go.
Yeah, not taking her in on the decision for that. Yeah, and then, so I guess it was rather important, but in terms of this episode, it wasn't really.
Yeah, no, it wasn't something that happened just now. It was something that happened a couple episodes ago.
And then Ichabod finds out that Orion had given Abby the charm and didn't say anything, and Ichabod stumbles across that when looking in the record room and just kind of shoved it into the drawer. Still didn't say a word about it until they were on the brink of death.
Literally forced to talk to each other. They have literally nothing to do but sit in a room, possibly for days.
Yeah. I mean, we get to go to Theodore Knox's house, you know, great-grandchildren of Fort Knox, his builder, owner, I don't know who that was.
What was the... Theodore Knox is the current one.
Right.
Now I can't remember the Revolutionary Knox.
No?
No.
Should I look up Fort Knox?
Yeah. Oh, what was his name?
His name was Mr. Knox. Johnny Knoxville.
No.
No?
No.
No. I don't even know. Let's see. Wikipedia is our friend.
Wikipedia is our friend, and my brain is not. So I was just talking about him. I just said his name, didn't I, in pre-show?
I don't even know.
I don't even know. Thomas Knox? Thomas Knox. Let's just keep going.
Yeah.
Revolutionary Knox.
It doesn't even say on Wikipedia.
Let's just keep going. Revolutionary Knox. We'll call him Call him Revolutionary Knox.
Yeah, that's who he is.
Yeah,
that's totally his name. So
is now.
Yeah, would you guys? You guys, Pat and Michelle are in here. Pat and Michelle are in here. Look, brain hardwired. Cleo, what do you think about his party?
Teddy Knox's party.
Teddy Knox's party.
It was super weird because they were driving and Jenny's like, yeah, what we've got in our hands is our ticket, our invitation in. He likes weird old things. And then Teddy like stops Ichabod to just like look at his crossbow, and Ichabod's like, I gotta go. Stop looking at my crossbow.
Oh, I like the way you wear the linens in that Confederate blue or whatever he said.
Yeah. Oh man, he seemed like a big history buff.
He did.
But that he has enough money to be like, let me look at all this old stuff.
Yeah. And then we get to see a little bit into his security system, and Holly. I don't even know how the hell he figured out how to crack that thing.
It was like a, I don't know. It was like a wall-sized, one of those little, ciphers.
Yeah.
But like wall-sized.
Yeah, the,
How did he know?
I don't know. It seemed like he was communicating with somebody, right? He had something, Was he on a phone, a tablet, or was he talking?
You know,
I don't remember.
It might have been like a code in the sequence that he had to.
Maybe.
He was reading a cipher or something to put the right code in.
Mm-hmm.
But it was clearly something that either he or what's-her-face had scoped out before and knew exactly what to do.
Yeah, it was his foster mother, which I don't remember her name.
So, Camilla.
Camilla. Yeah. So we'll just call her Cammy. Yeah, so apparently she had some prior knowledge of that. And, I mean, the way she convinced Holly to even help her in the first place was rather interesting. Like, Holly wanted nothing to do with her. He got roped into it. He helped her. And then he's like, no, I'm done. And he goes to leave. And she's like, no, you gotta help me one more time. And he's like, no, absolutely not. She goes, I'll leave you alone forever. Do you think she's going to leave him alone forever?
Well, I mean, no, because the whole point of her going to get the statue was so that she could remake her family. It's a little Once Upon a Time here.
Yeah.
Like
slightly.
she wanted to remake her foster children.
Mm-hmm.
And have them forever.
Yep.
And I'm sure if she couldn't get Holly, she would have gotten somebody else, but she had Holly.
Yeah.
She wasn't going to let him go.
I mean, but while all that was going on, we had Abby and Crane got locked in the safe. You know, Holly basically trapped him in the safe for her.
Mm-hmm.
And for the first time, I think, in the series, Crane gets something wrong.
Yes! And I think we've been waiting for that to happen for a while.
Yeah. I know I have. I can't stand him being right all the time.
It's not just him knowing everything, because that's one thing. But the luck that he's had getting everything right. Because not everything is the first clues you put together, or the first piece of knowledge that you find and, rattling around in your brain. Sometimes that's not always the right answer, which was true here. Yeah.
Well, I was under the impression that there was the Knox that... There was a Knox that Ichabod knew, right? And this was before Fort Knox.
Henry Knox.
Henry Knox. Okay.
Henry Knox was the revolutionary Knox that Ichabod knew.
Okay. So he was basing it off of that, and he was going off him being an alchemist, and that kind of like the
inventions.
Right. And Abby was like, no, like, take a look, look at this a little more personally. And he's like, oh, well, he liked to gamble. Gold. So he pushes the button. I was a little surprised that it was able to be
the Star Wars reference.
Yeah, well that. But I was able.
Look at the trash compactor.
The trash compactor. I was surprised though that they were able to stop it once it was already in motion.
Yeah, me too.
Because I felt like all they could have done was press every button on the panel one at a time, and What's the point in a booby trap if you can do that?
I don't know. Maybe it's like the password on your phone where it'll lock out after a couple ones, but
maybe it didn't seem that sophisticated.
Maybe 2 is the proper amount of guesses that you are allotted.
Gotcha. Maybe you're supposed to get it wrong first and then activate the gold second.
Have a panic moment. Just in case he locked himself in there while he was drunk and missed the button.
Yeah, I guess. They did say that, there's got to be a failsafe if you get locked in, which, it makes sense. So, it's the same way you go to, like, I don't know, if you work in, like, a fast food type place and they have a freezer. There's no lock.
You lock yourself in the freezer.
There's no lock on the outside, They do that intentionally, so you can't get locked in. So. But then they take down Camilla. Chameleon.
Chameleon.
Her name just keeps morphing. She was kind of like a little crazy chameleon. Like,
yeah.
What the hell was that? She had the razor sharp teeth and the poison dripping fang or claws.
Well, I think that's an actual myth.
Yeah, they pulled it out of some book. I didn't know if it was something created specifically for the show or.
No. Kali. No, not Kali.
The Kali Yuga. Yeah,
the Kali Yuga, but is Kali the name of the Hindu goddess of the dead? Kali with like the 4 arms.
Vishnu?
No, not Vishnu. There's another one with multiple arms. I think Vishnu has actually like 8 arms.
I think he does too.
No, but there's a female goddess of like the dead and afterlife and stuff, and that's where the Kali come from.
Gotcha. Yeah. But while they take her down, she was performing this ceremony on Holly.
Yeah.
Do you think she got a good portion of it off on him? Do you think Holly's changed because of this? You think that's why he took off?
I mean, maybe. I thought that. I was like, she's doing a lot of this thing right now. Is he partially changed? I mean, I guess the sign would be if he had that weird X in his chest, but I think, did that disappear when the ceremony was stopped? I can't remember, because he was shirtless for a good long while.
You would remember that part.
I'm not digging my own grave.
Was that the first time we saw Holly shirtless?
I don't think so.
No. That's those are details I can't remember.
If it was Abby shirtless, that's a different story, right?
Oh, yes, it would. It would be. I'd remember that detail very well. But yeah, I don't know.
I mean, I think it could be something like that.
I
know he definitely left because Camille's not dead.
Right.
So that's definitely part of it, but
I think he's just
spooked. Find out. But I'm sad because this probably means he's not going to be in episodes for a while.
Yeah.
I love Holly.
Holly's the best thing that's come out of this season, I think, personally. I mean, this season's been really good, but I love Holly. He's such a great character. I'm disappointed we didn't have him sooner. He would have been a great addition to season 1. Cause,
well, I think the point that he came in to the show was important.
It was. But I just would.
There was a lot going on in season 1.
There was. I would have liked to see him sooner, but like you said, there was a lot going on. It wouldn't have fit. But the other person that has been acting kind of strange is Captain Irving. He was exonerated.
Mm-hmm.
But we didn't quite find out why. Like, we don't know what the evidence was. It was they talked about last episode.
Yeah, because last episode, Reyes was like, yeah, your friend's going to get exonerated. There's new evidence. And it's like, what's the evidence? And then we go to the trial, and it's like, they don't show us the evidence. And I'm just like, what's the evidence?
Yeah.
Is it Henry's severed head? Is it Moloch? Is it...
I don't think that would be Blaine.
I know.
Because the judge would just kind of be like, what?
I know, I'm kidding.
You know? But they're super excited. His wife was his DA.
I like he was like, I went outside the family before and it didn't go so well.
I wasn't even sure that you could do that, to be completely honest.
Well, I mean, you can also represent yourself.
Right. So I
which
mean,
is not a smart idea usually.
Usually.
And it's not a smart idea to have your
family.
Yeah, or acquaintances or people you really know defend you, but I don't think it's against the law.
Right.
I think it's the same thing.
Just
the same thing in the medical practice. You're not supposed to.
That I think is a little bit different.
That is law.
Is it law? Okay.
I don't know. I didn't think so. I just thought it was like a thing where it's like, it's not the law, but we'll do it to avoid, you know, problems.
Yeah, I think medical is a little different. I think it's just major surgeries and stuff. They don't want to because they're emotionally invested in it.
Yeah.
And it's distracting. So, but I think it's frowned upon, but not completely, you know, forbidden. But anyway, we have you know, his wife is super worried about him, and they go see Katrina, and Katrina casts a spell, has him drink some I don't know, whatever's in your
tea or something.
Whatever's in your cup over there.
I would assume it's tea.
Yeah, it's whatever's in your cup.
In my cup, hot chocolate.
Yeah, so he drank some hot chocolate. And
it's not very witchy.
No?
No, tea is more of a witch thing.
How do you know that it's not made with
chocolate
magical cocoa roots?
Is it chocolate tea?
Yeah.
I like chocolate tea.
But she goes and she's exploring and, you know, really going into his brain to try to find out if Henry had something to do with that. And she said no. Henry is no part of this.
Yeah.
Whatsoever. Do you think she's lying about that, or?
I don't know.
I don't see why she'd be covering up Henry.
My initial reaction was, she doesn't sound like she's telling the whole truth. Because I think she chose her words carefully. I think Henry no longer has control of Irving, but there's something wrong still. And she doesn't know what. So she avoided saying anything wrong or lying. She just told them the only truth she was comfortable with telling them.
Right. And then...
Because I don't know, there's something wrong.
There's something wrong with Irving. He's lying himself, right? Like, he's saying he feels completely fine, and he's not. And then we see at the very end of the episode when he's hugging his wife.
He has no reflection.
There's no reflection.
He has no reflection!
Is he a vampire?
Me and my mom like immediately were like, is he a vampire? No, he can't be. Is he a vampire? Can't be a vampire.
I think we would know if he was a vampire.
And I immediately started thinking, I was like, okay, did Henry have a reflection when we saw him out in the world? Was there... I think he did. I remember him having a reflection.
A shadow?
Yes, because we've seen him in the mirror when Katrina...
Right.
...was... So I don't know what that could mean. I'm starting to think that my theory of him being a horseman is wrong.
Mm-hmm.
But I don't know, because he could just be a ghosty ghoul, or a ghoul, or I don't know, some mythic thing. But then what brought him back? If it was the contract with Henry, where is Henry? Why is Katrina lying? There are so many questions now. It's like, what's happening?
Yeah. I don't know, I just did a quick search for things without reflections, and basically the only thing that's coming up is vampires. So there's you know, Chinese mythology saying that mirrors frighten away evil spirits and things like that, but I don't see anything specifically about mythological creatures that don't have reflections other than vampires.
And maybe it's not that he doesn't have a reflection. Maybe it's that he himself can't see his reflection because he no longer has a soul. Like, this could just be a... I was going to reference another show, I won't do it. But this could just be like he's come back from the dead without a soul.
Yeah. Yeah, no, I see that.
His soul is trapped in purgatory, or Henry has his soul, or Moloch has his soul. Because I'm not convinced Moloch's gone.
Right.
Moloch's got, like, a plan double F.
They've been keeping him pretty low-key, and I think that's just for us to keep him out of sight, out of mind until season finale. He
suffered the worst defeat that he's suffered in a while.
It's true, so he's got to regroup.
He was defeated a bunch of times on his way out of purgatory. But, like, this is the worst defeat. And it was not just a defeat, it was a betrayal.
It was. And
so he kind of has to start from scratch.
He does. He's got to reevaluate everything all over again. And so he's got to lay low. He's got to come up with a plan.
But if he does come back, I'm hoping he's gonna whatever his plan is gonna not involve the Horsemen.
What if he?
What if trade? So
what
that
if Irving?
Huh?
What if Irving is Moloch's new vessel?
Oh, that's why he doesn't have a soul.
Yeah.
Yeah, could be. Because I want his new plan to not have to do with the Horsemen, because I want there to be room for not Ichabod, Abraham to come onto Team Witness. Also, I want Orion to come back because Abby needs an angel boyfriend.
Yeah, we definitely need to see more Orion. But
let me clarify: she doesn't need an angel boyfriend. I just ship them so hard.
Yeah.
Abby don't need no man, but if she wants one, he has to be an angel.
He's there. Yeah.
He's there.
Seems like Jenny's already claimed Holly, so I think that ship has sailed for Abby.
Yeah. I mean, I feel like Holly was, like, dancing around because he didn't want to commit to anything.
Yeah.
He's a floaty free spirit, sort of.
Yeah.
Get timing down, Southern boy.
You have anything else for this week before we go into the synopsis for next week?
Like I said, I really liked this episode. I think this was a really solid episode.
It was.
The best this season.
Like I said, I love the Fort Knox aspect. That whole storyline. I loved it. I loved everything in the vault. I sat there, I paused my DVR, and I'm like looking around at all the shelves on the vault and trying to like identify, see if I could pick out other mythological like symbols and stuff like that.
There were a lot of artifacts in there.
There was.
Like,
so.
A lot.
I hope we explore Teddy Knox again.
Yeah.
So. Anyway, next week episode is called Spellcaster. After escaping Purgatory, a warlock who triggered the Salem witch trials returns to find a dangerous book of spells. Meanwhile, Abby attempts to trust Frank Irving again, while Henry struggles to find his identity.
Yeah! Back, baby!
We finally get to see Henry. So.
Alright.
I'm super excited for this episode. Salem Witch Trials is going to be a great story as well.
Yeah, and that's going a little further back than Ichabod's time.
Right.
Just like with the Roanoke thing. We're going like a little before his time, which is
Roanoke
nice.
was such a good episode too. There's so many good episodes. Yeah. I think that about wraps things up. You got any closing thoughts?
Awesome episode.
It was a good episode. Clio, where can the people find your love for chocolate tea?
At Clio Moto. I don't drink enough chocolate tea. I should drink more.
You should. You should tweet pictures of chocolate tea. I've never even heard of chocolate tea before.
It is actually a thing.
I believe you. But my chocolate tea, I'll just stick with chocolate milk and hot chocolate. So you can find me down below drinking hot chocolate. That's Phenomedom. Phenomedom. Phenomenodom. You could also find us on Facebook, Gmail, G+, Twitter, Space, and I don't know
I think I caught that too.
Yeah?
Yeah, I'm good.
And right here on YouTube at /ASOTV podcast for some more podcasts or some of your favorite TV shows. Till next week. See you guys later.
Yeah.
I don't know what's up with that cough.
Yeah. It seems to come up every week.
It's not even every week. It's always the same point of every show.